Okay, welcome to part 2 of this series. Now, today we're going to be talking about orders. There's actually quite a lot you can do with the order system. My order system is directly modeled after that of 0K, so you can do things that we've shown like last time, like building a number of structures. And be like, okay, it'll show you all the structures you're going to build. We've seen this in RTS before. But what's cool about this is that you can hold shift while selecting other units or no units at all, and it'll show you the queue of everything that's working on. So I can see all my rally points, I can see all this stuff. There's also other things we could do in the meantime, like we could hold space when issuing an order, like 0K, to tack something onto the front, and still preserve everything that comes after. So that, in addition to shift queuing, is quite nice. But we also actually have some other stuff we can do as well. We can also go to our factory and we can issue entire bottomless lists of things to do when our units are first made. Oh my goodness. So this would be a huge waste of somebody's time. But let's get another guy in here to demonstrate this at least. We can have this guy do patrolling. Like, okay, so he patrols this line, but you can also attack on more patrol points. I think attacking on patrol in the start. Well, actually, no, attacking on patrol in the start does also work. That's interesting. It treats it like adding on to the end, which is quite curious. But you can see this is how patrol works. Nothing too fancy about that. There's some other stuff too, though. For instance, if a guy is patrolling near things that are being constructed, he will help out with construction. Very simple, very logical. Should be looking for work to do. And it looks like he just broke his patrol route doing that, actually. That's quite interesting. I'll have to look into that. But we have other tasks we can do. In fact, we can even go all the way to the orders tab, and we can issue a full set of orders for things that are even born. Yeah, let's get these guys over here to repair this. We can flip back to the other tab. A couple workers on that. Look at that. Now we have guys who are just joining the fray doing that. We can even do more than that, though, if we want to go really crazy. Let's have a guy build us another battery over here. And we're just going to make a guy who makes a battery, and that's like the very first thing he does. You could just do that. There's no reason you can't, frankly. Which is really nice, actually. So you can do very complex order systems just based off of things that come rolling off the presses like minute one. But you can also do a lot of other orders as well. For instance, you can have some units guard other units, and you can set the exact guard distance by clicking and dragging. Although it seems like I've broken this a little bit, which is quite interesting. I'm not sure why I broke this or how I broke this. That's extremely interesting. That was pretty stable until very recently. I'll have to look into that. I'll put that on my issues list in a minute. But what else we have is we have some other orders as well. We have salvaging, where you can take down old things and break them down and get your money back for the most part. So that's potentially useful if you want to remodel some of your base space, clear out some of this old solar, replace it with more fusion. I want to do that, I can do that. But that's the main stuff for workers. Actually, that's a lie. We actually have a couple more things we can do. We also have the equip order, which is unique to my game as far as I know. It's not based on anything intentionally, I can tell you that. So let's go with this. Yeah, we're gonna build a guy over here who's a exosuit laborer, who is higher cost but higher power than a standard laborer. And these guys do have a lot of extra stuff that they can do. They have more build power, more movement speed. They can carry heavy units of ammo around that are otherwise too bulky for normal units to carry. Yeah, let's work on this too while we're at it, and we can demonstrate that. So, I can have him. You already asked if you wanted to equip with the auto order suggested. Well, let's do it manually. There we go. He's carrying a little unit of ammo. He's slowed down a little bit, and we can have him give it to this turret here. Boom. So that's a 2-piece equip. But we can also equip him to the turret itself, or we can take the other laborer and equip him, but not to the ammo, because this guy does not have the way to carry ammo. But I can equip him to the heavy machine gun. And after the machine gun's manned, we can go ahead and shoot stuff with it and use it as an actual turret. And we can even have this guy guard this turret, and then if it goes through enough ammunition, he will begin reloading it, which actually isn't a huge ask. Or we could set up on patrol, and he would go to repair anything that's broken or reload anything that needs reloading. Also, while guarding a turret, if a turret becomes damaged, he will begin to repair the turret. However, if the turret is below half ammo and its ammo left is lower than its health left, percentage-wise, he will go to fetch ammo and then go back to repairing after he's got the ammo. So there's a lot of little things that can go on here, but we also have some stuff with units. We saw we have the unload command. That's another one. Have stop, of course, to stop whatever you're currently doing. So we're gonna get a quick little guy here. Talk about some of his combat units. So now we have a combat unit. This guy can do attack move as the standard stuff, but he can also do force fire, shooting on terrain. In case you have a secondary use for that. But he also has a reload order. You can reload and stock up on ammo. He can also do a guard order of his own, but instead of repairing things, what he'll do is if his guard target is attacked for some reason, he will go and he will defend his guard target and make sure that anyone that's giving him trouble won't will have to answer for it, right? And there's the orange bar here for managing magazines, the yellow bar here for managing the ammo left in the current magazine. And you can also go to these ammo stockpiles to reload his ammo for a small energy cost. So there's a lot of little things going on here. Nothing super tremendous, but definitely quite useful. So what we can do on top of this is probably get into some of the other stuff we have going on, like move, of course, is a thing. But we have some other tech that's quite useful. For instance, if we click and drag, even with just the auto move, we can split orders so people can do that. And we can do this with all sorts of stuff. Go. And yeah, we can just have these guys continuously move around in a set pattern. And you can see that cutting corners is a little janky, perhaps, but overall it's not bad. What we can do is we can do, I think we can do it with patrol, right? Yeah, we can do it with patrol. We can do shift. Boom, define multiple patrol routes. Guys who are attacking, you can do the exact same thing with the attack order, but I don't feel like particularly getting off my ass to demonstrate that. So, there's a lot of little things you can have your guys do that can make the usability of the experience quite nice. And that's one of the aims here, is that because we can automate restocking ammo, repairs, even if this guy runs out of ammo naturally, he'll go back and find an ammo stockpile to reload at. Little things like that. There's a lot of little things we can do with the quality of life to make this a manageable experience, even though it's very involved, particularly with the element of logistics. Logistics is kind of the emphasis here. Now we can have this guy man the sandbag and reselect him, have him do some shooting, perhaps. Yeah, there we go. Have this guy dump through all his ammo real quick. He can man these sandbags with the equip order, which isn't bad. Then he goes back, grabs some more ammo, reloads, and gets back to it. Boom. Yeah, I think that covers like the main bulk of what we're doing here with orders. It should be that the emphasis here should be that you should be playing smarter, not harder. You shouldn't have to worry about 10 quintillion micromanaging of units per second. They should function fairly naturally, and you should be able to play with your intentions and not having to work out every tiny little kink every second. This is very against the standard theme of RTS games, but I do want cooperative play to be the main focus of this RTS.